Welcome back to Care for the Common Game. Today we're going to talk about some merfolk. The folk. Anyway, Kopala here is one of the ones from Ixalan that I haven't done yet. Clearly a very tribal merfolk themed. I mean, just in the two sentences on his card. I mean, it's kind of nice. I like him. So with that in mind, I went tribal merfolk. Now, I'm probably going to blaze through some of these creatures because, quite frankly, it's exactly what you would expect out of a mono blue, merfolk deck. We got the Curse Catcher and the Tide Shaper Mystic. Now, I love these merfolk that can that either have flying or can gain flying. It doesn't make sense to me, but I really love the gameplay. And then, of course, Koshi's Trickster. I mean to tell you what, I don't see why this. Yeah, every merfolk deck that I built will probably have this in there because in Commander we have so much stuff that shuffles. I mean, we've got fetches and terramorphics and evolvings, and I mean we shuffle a lot, and you have a lot of opponents. So yeah, a turn one Koshi's Trickster could be ridiculous. We got a Harbinger of Tides. You know, it can have flash if you want it bad enough. The Grimoire Thief. I like the fact that I don't know that I would ever sack him. Well, obviously, probably not because, we're not going to find multiples. But just whenever he becomes tapped, hey, they exile 3. Now, man, as long as you can target him, you could just about reduce that damage to 0. Apprentice, you're going to have another merfolk. Cheaper. I love those can't be blocked guys. Merfolk Luger was kind of one that I had to put in there. Master of the Pearl Trident. 1/1 an Island Walk. I didn't do like a whole lot of spreading seas with that thing. Could have. Probably should have. River Merfolk. Mountain Walk. That's right. I don't do Island Walk just because, everybody's got islands. I do Mountain Walk. Sigil Tracer. Now, the secondary tribe, there's some rogues, but mainly the secondary tribe is Wizard. So the ability to copy their Demonic Tutor or copy their Fireball or whatever, I really kind of like this. Sage of Fables. Now, I tried to use as many of them that have +1/+1 counters or pass out +1/+1 counters or give them simply because we got a guy coming up. Leech Bonder. Wake Thrasher. Thada, not Thala. I have pronounced her Thala forever. Hey, just steal their artifacts from their deck. The Low Mage Mentor. Now, granted, tapping 7 is a bunch, but, man, it's very doable. Sea Singer. Old card that doesn't get a lot of play anymore. I don't know that I've ever seen it in play in the past 20 years. Well, besides me casting it. But, long story short, you tap steal something, you got to have islands. It's all good. We have islands. Merrill Regeray is another champion. Merfolk Sovereign's another champion. I do have 2 non-merfolk. I've got this guy. I realize he's like, I think he's a human mercenary, but the ability to tutor for a merfolk is too strong for me to ignore. And I've got a bunch of this guy, and I don't have him in any decks, so I got to use him somewhere. And then I have Clone. because you want to clone one of the champions, obviously. Surge Banner bounces. Now, Rootwater Matriarch, right about now, you're expecting to see a whole bunch of like defensive enchantments. No, not happening. We're just running her as a 2/3 body that, you know what? If somebody's going to Voltron something up with enchantments anyway, it's mine. We're just going to run her on a maybe. Sky Scout. The Herald is the reason for all the +1/+1 counter shenanigan because, I mean, not be blocked. That's scary, yo. Merfolk Tutor. Master of Waves almost didn't make the cut simply because he does not help the tribe in any way at all. He is a merfolk, but he's a 4-mana 2/1. Now, granted, he does kind of bring his own little army with him, but I'll leave him in for now. We do have a second Ixalan set coming out, and maybe I should have waited to finish this deck till that came out to get some more. Like, I am waiting for that to finish Carrie's F, because Mono Red Pirates is pretty restrictive. Anyway, the Wave Breakers. I love the untap stuff, and I don't know if they considered that a failure or not, the untap symbol, but I know they've never used it again. They may obviously reprint in dual decks or what have you, the already existing cards. But I don't know that they're going to make any more untap symbol new cards. So you might want to grab your hands on some of those, especially the that equipment that I use all the time with elves. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Blue creatures are unblockable. Man, if this is a 2/2 worse 6 mana, generally you're going to play that guy and just win that turn. Want to win profits? You know, it seems good. That is it for our actual creatures. Got a little merfolk themed enchantments. You know, you cast a merfolk, you get a merfolk. We got Merrill Commerce. Untap all your dudes at the end of turn. We're going to do a flow of ideas to, just in case we're not drawing enough cards, we're going to, you know, draw an amazing amount of cards there. And then the Bite in the Fast is also going to draw us a little bit of cards. Now, because it is blue and because it is in the flavor, I had to run a High Tide. You can flood out a board. High Tide, in a deck like this, High Tide just lets you overcommit like crazy and hope for the best. Architect's Will. Yes, there is the one that's an island. It is tribal, though, and here again, tribal is a failed experiment. They do consider it a failure. They will not print any more tribal cards. Get them. Elvish Promenade, go look at that price. We have Artificial Evolution. Now, I'll be honest with you, I am using this as purely a random X factor. I guess we could do that. We could hack that Master of Waves or whatever it is, but yeah, we have Distant Melody to draw some cards, Brainstorm, Pull from Tomorrow, some counter spells in the form of Negate, Dismiss, good old-fashioned counterspell. River's Rebuke is a beating and a half, and so is Inundate. Get the air out. Larry Nevin's Disc is about our only board wipe. I mean, we do have the Engulf the Shore and the Polymorphous Geist. Also running the Vanquisher's Banner. Search for Azcanta. You know, I mean, there's something to it, right? We might as well run. Diviner's Wand, Submerge, and our last card is, of course, Washout. That is all I have got for Mr. Kopala. I do appreciate you watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.